Hello everyone, welcome to Science in a Cup. Today we are going to learn about optical aberration in lens system. So this is like a notes type of thing in which we can prepare for the interview very fast in the field of optical domain. So let us start. Now, do you know there is something called Hubble telescope, and it was one of the most expensive scientific instrument ever built. But after it was launched into space, when the first picture came, the picture was blurred actually. So scientists realized that Hubble's mirror had been polished incorrectly by just 2 microns, which is around that 1/50th of the width of the human hair. That tiny imperfection caused light rays to miss the correct focal point and produced blurred images instead of crystal clear views of the universe. And the cause, why? Because the mirror was flattened incorrectly, it caused something called optical aberration. So today we are going to understand what optical aberrations are, why they happen, and how they affect the image qualities, and how we engineers correct them in cameras, telescope, microscope, and even in the human eye. So let's begin. So what is an optical aberration? In an ideal optical system, all the rays of light should focus perfectly to form a sharp image. But in reality, lenses are not perfect. Sometimes light rays fail to meet at the same point, creating blurred distortion, color fringing, or loss of sharpness. These imperfections are called optical aberration. Now, optical aberrations arise due to wavefront errors, material properties, lens geometry, misalignment, and wavelength-dependent refractive index. These aberrations are extremely important in cameras, telescope, microscopes, ophthalmic lenses, LiDAR systems, and modern silicon photonics. So, in short, if light is involved, aberration matters. Now, if we want to classify aberrations, it can be broadly classified into 2 categories. One is monochromatic aberration, also called sidal aberration. This occur even when a single wavelength of light is used. The major monochromatic aberrations are spherical aberrations, coma, astigmatism, field curvature, and distortion. The second category is chromatic aberration. So, chromatic aberration happens because different wavelengths of light bend differently inside a material. And beyond this, we have higher order aberrations which are more complex, which are residual errors represented by mathematically using Zernike polynomials. So let us understand each aberrations one by one. So let us start with spherical aberration. This happens because spherical lenses do not focus all incoming rays to the same point. Notice the rays near the edge of the lens, which is called marginal rays, and these rays focus at a different position compared to the rays near the optical axis called the paraxial rays. As a result, instead of forming a sharp focus, the image becomes blurred. This reduces sharpness, contrast, and image quality. A practical example is a cheap camera lens where colors images appear soft. So how do we fix this? We use aspheric lenses, specially shaped surfaces that reduce focusing errors, aperture stop optimization, reducing the aperture, limiting marginal rays, also using multi-element lens system, combining lenses to compensate for errors. Notice the comparison between the image with and without spherical aberration. The corrected system produces a much sharper focus. Next, we have chromatic aberration. Chromatic aberration occurs because the refractive index of material changes with wavelength. In simple words, different colors bend differently. Blue light bends more than red light. This causes different colors to focus at different positions. Now, chromatic aberrations are of 2 types. One is longitudinal chromatic aberration, where different wavelengths focus at different distances. You may notice color blur around objects. And lateral chromatic aberrations, where different wavelengths experience different magnification. This causes color fringing near image edges. You often see purple or green borders around high contrast objects in camera images. So how do we correct it? We correct chromatic aberration using achromatic doublet, apochromatic lenses, low dispersion materials with high Aber number, and diffractive optics. Materials like fluoride are commonly used because they have very low dispersion. Now we'll study about coma. Coma aberration occurs because it affects the off-axis objects. Instead of a sharp point, the image forms a comet-like blur, which is why it is called coma. This becomes especially visible in telescope, astrophotography, and wide-angle lenses. For example, stars near the edge of a telescope image may look stretched or comet-shaped. The reason is that rays from different parts of the lens focus asymmetrically. How do we correct coma? By using symmetrical optical design, coma correctors, and aspheric surfaces. Notice the difference between the system with coma and without coma. Without coma, rays converge to a clean point. Now let us understand astigmatism. In astigmatism, light rays in two perpendicular planes focus at different positions. These are called sagittal rays and tangential rays. Instead of one focus point, the system produces two different focal lines. As a result, image appeared blurred in one direction. This effect becomes stronger for off-axis objects. Astigmatism is extremely important in cameras, microscope, and even human vision. In fact, many people wear cylindrical spectacles because of eye astigmatism. The correction method includes toric optics, cylindrical lenses, and optimized lens curvature. Observe the difference between astigmatic system and corrected system. The corrected case produces a clean point image. Field curvature. The next aberration is field curvature, also known as pretzel field curvature. Ideally, an image should form on a flat surface, but due to optical design limitation, the image may form on a curved surface. This means if the center is sharp, the edges become blurry, and if the edges are sharp, the center becomes blurry. This is especially problematic in microscopy, astronomy, and image sensor. The correction method includes field flattener lenses, advanced lens optimization, and computational correction. Modern camera lenses are heavily optimized to reduce field curvature. Next, we'll learn about distortion. Unlike previous aberrations, distortion doesn't necessarily blur the image. Instead, it changes geometry. Straight lines become curved. There are two types of distortion. One is barrel distortion and another is pincushion distortion. In barrel distortion, lines bulge outward, common in wide-angle lenses. In pincushion distortion, light bend inward, common in telephoto lenses. This becomes important in architectural photography, machine vision, and measurement system. Today, many cameras correct distortion using software. Now, we'll cover a more advanced topic, but very briefly, that is called higher order aberration. So, even after correcting the major aberrations, small residual imperfections still remain. These are called higher order aberration. They become important in large aperture optics, high numerical aperture microscope, telescope, and ophthalmic systems. These aberrations are mathematically represented using Zernike polynomials. Examples include trefoil, tetrafoil, secondary coma, and higher order spherical aberration. These tiny imperfections can still reduce image sharpness and contrast. Modern systems correct them using adaptive optics, freeform optics, and computational imaging. So, in conclusion, today we learned about optical aberrations, which are sometimes unavoidable imperfection in imaging system. We explored spherical aberration, chromatic aberration, coma, astigmatism, field curvature, distortion, and higher order aberrations. But the exciting part is this: modern optical engineering can correct many of these problems using advanced materials, optical designs, adaptive optics, and AI-based image processing. Without aberration correction, modern cameras, telescope, microscope, and even the smartphone imaging would not exist. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, consider subscribing to Science in a Cup for more videos on optics, photonics, and engineering. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And that's it. Thank you.